Right, good day everyone. Welcome to the STEM Digital School. This is grade 4 Natural Sciences and Technology. Right, so guys, my name is Onkarabetse Setso, for those of you who are new and do not know. Guys, just as I said on Friday, we will be doing term 1 revision, and today we'll be starting off with life and living. I see you guys are already busy in the group chat. Nokwanda, Sins, Tyron, as well as Kiara. Hello guys, hello, I hope you are all well. All right. So if you are just joining us, I mentioned last week, right, after we played Kahoot, that this week we will be doing revision. Okay, so guys, here is the plan or the layout for this week as well as the next week. Okay, so we'll be doing revision for term 1 as well as term 2. All right, so this is Monday until Thursday, then Friday we're going to revise using Kahoot, and then next week from the 20th to the 24th, it will be assessment or test week. Okay, so guys, I will communicate any further developments with regards to test week and assessment week as to where you will write, how you will write, etc. I will give you guys those details as we go throughout the week. And yeah, Friday we will be revising using Kahoot. Okay, just before we start, now guys, please gather all your books, stationery, notes from term 1. Okay, just get that in front of you, your notes, your textbooks, etc. from term 1, because we are revising living and non-living things right now. Okay? This is from term 1. The topic is living and non-living things. So just get your books in front of you, get your notes, the notebook, highlighters, pencils, so that where if there is something that we cover in class today and it is not in your notes, then you can just add on. All right. Okay, hi Dante, hi Toby. Also guys, just make sure that your videos are off throughout the lesson. Please make sure that your video or webcams, they are off during the lesson, and we're going to raise our hands if we have a question or an answer, or we're going to use the group chat to send through our answers. Okay, and please use the group chat only for educational purposes, right? Cool, I hope everyone is ready and we can start. Okay, so living things, that is our topic or subtopic under living and non-living things. Okay, question, what does it mean to be alive? What does it mean to be alive in terms of the natural sciences? So what does it mean to be alive? So you guys can raise your hand to give me an answer, or you can use the group chat. So I see Daresh has their hand up. Let's hear. Okay, Daresh, just accept on your side for your mic to unmute. Okay, Daresh, seems like your mic is not unmuting, but I see answers coming in the group. Nokwanda says to breathe. Dante says walking and breathing. Nokwanda added and said moving. Michaela's hand is up. Let's hear. Michaela has to say.
Ma'am, it means when you can breathe, you can smell, you can excrete, you can reproduce.
All right, beautiful, Michaela. Thank you very much. Nice one. Okay, so I hope everyone heard what Michaela said, and let's just also read the answers in the group. We have thinking, wow, okay. We have reproduce, and then Carol says to do all the 7 alive processes. Okay. Right, so another question that I have, and I see Toby's hand is up, and Toby, I'll ask you this particular question. Are the plants that you eat from the garden living or non-living? So this next question is for you, Toby. Are the plants that you eat from the garden living or non-living? Toby? Okay, Toby, you just need to check your microphone or your sound. There's no sound coming through from your side. Guys, make sure that your videos are off. Do not switch on your video, please. Thank you. Okay, let's try Darish again.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm well, thanks. Yourself?
The plants are living, ma'am.
All right. Why do you say that the plants are living?
Because they sense, eat, grow, and they do the 7 life processes.
All right. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Darish.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay. So I hope everyone heard what Darish said. He said that the plants that we eat from the garden are living. And if we can just see here, we say that living things look different. We can refer to me and you as being alive, and we can also refer to plants as being alive, as well as animals. But we all have different structures. So Tyron, I see that your hand is up. And Michaela's hand is also up. So there will be a lot of questions coming up, and you can just keep your hands up, and then I'll give you guys the following questions. Okay, so the upcoming questions, I'll give it to you guys to answer. Right, so most of us in the group chat also said they are living. I see Michaela Nokwanda Warabile said they are living, and Michaela gave a reason saying that the plants are living because they can grow, move, as well as reproduce. So we mentioned that living things carry out the 7 life processes. Okay, so all living things have similar traits, and that is carrying out the 7 similar, or rather the 7 life processes. Okay, so and we're gonna get into those 7 life processes. Okay, so guys, let's go to Tyron. There we go. Taryn, what are the 7 life processes?
The 7 life processes are movement, reproducing, sensing,
Yes.
breathing, feeding,
Feeding. All right.
excreting,
Yes.
and growing.
Wow, beautiful. Thank you very much, Tyron, for giving us those 7 life processes. All right. Beautiful. Okay, so guys, you can just keep your hands up now. I'll give you questions that follow to you guys. All right. So as Tyron mentioned, one of the living processes is moving. Okay, so what do we know about moving is that all living plants and animals move. So some textbooks say that it is moving, other textbooks call it movement. All right, so just remember it is the same thing. And here we have an example of sunflowers which turn towards the sun. And we also have humans who move all the time. And here we have athletes who are running. Okay. So Michaela, and just unmute your mic quickly. I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Give me another example of living things that move.
Living things are humans, animals, and also plants.
They move, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, beautiful. Okay, thank you very much, Michaela, for giving us another example. And Michaela added that animals also move. Okay. So the next process that we're going to look at is reproducing or reproduction. Okay, so this is where all living things make offspring, and the offspring may refer to babies as well as seeds. Okay, So here we have an example of a mother and father with their baby. Okay. So Menindle's hand is also up. Menindle,
Hi, ma'am.
how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I am well, thanks. So Menindle, give me another example of a living thing that reproduces, and what does that living thing reproduce?
Germs.
Germs. What do they reproduce, or how do they reproduce?
I don't really know,
Uh-huh.
but all the germs spread out because actually
Mm-hmm.
the way germs reproduce is by us giving the germs to other people because there are germs inside of
Okay.
us.
All right. So I believe when you talk about germs, an example could be a virus, an example could be a bacteria, right?
Yes,
Okay, so and you saying that we as humans sometimes play a role in spreading the bacteria or spreading the germs.
yes.
All right. So just to add on to what Menincle said,
And then,
sometimes we as humans could also create an atmosphere or rather a place or a habitat for those germs or bacteria to grow in. Right. So an example is maybe if we are keeping our room very untidy, then I mean, of course, germs will gather in that place because they like growing in that place. Okay. Thank you very much for that, Menincle. Okay, so let us go to the next life process, and that is sensing. And Taran also just told us about the sensing and life process. So in sensing, we say that all living things respond to any change that they sense. Okay, all living things respond to any change they sense. And an example that we have with regards to sensing, we say that the chameleon is basking on the wall in the winter sun because yeah, it's probably cold. And then the leaves, it's just on the right here, says the leaves on some trees respond to change of the season and these turn brown during autumn. Okay, so I'm just gonna try Toby again because I see her hand is up. Let's see if we can hear you, Toby. Toby? Yeah, I still can't hear you, Toby. Hello? All right. So Toby, I will need you to use the group chat to send through your answer. Yeah? Okay, let's see. You're done. You're done?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. And how are you?
I am well, thanks. Could you give us another example as to how living things sense? What do we mean when we say that living things can sense?
Um, like the chameleon.
The chameleon, okay. So can you give us another example besides the chameleon?
It turns different colors.
Okay, so the chameleon turns into different colors and that is camouflaging, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what happens when you get cold?
Uh,
What do you do when you get cold?
I I camouflage myself.
You camouflage yourself. How do you do that? Okay, I see Jordan just unmute. How do you camouflage yourself, Jordan? Sorry for that.
I hide.
You hide.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, okay. So Jordan says when he gets cold, he hides. All right. I believe Jordan, don't you fetch a jersey or something warm when you get cold?
Yes, ma'am.
You do that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, beautiful. So Jordan, that is also an example of how living things sense. So you felt cold, and after feeling cold, you go out and put on a jersey. All right.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that is also an example of sensing. Okay. Thank you very much, Jordan. So guys, I hope everyone is following, okay? Hope everyone is following. If you do want to give us extra examples, you can put them on the group chat, or you can also raise your hand. Then I will give you guys, so I will give questions to you guys whose hands are raised. All right. But again, guys, please do add more answers to the group chat because today we are revising and we are learning. Okay. So let us move on to the next life process. And I believe it's the fifth one, if not the fourth. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's the fourth one, and it is breathing. So we're saying that all living things breathe gases in as well as out. So I see Zoe's hand is up, and I will ask Zoe for an example. Zoe,
Hello, ma'am.
how are you?
Fine, thanks, and you, ma'am.
I am well, thanks. So Zoe, give us an example of living things that breathe in gases as well as out.
Humans,
Okay, so what do humans breathe
animals.
in?
Humans breathe in oxygen, and animals also breathe in oxygen, and they breathe out carbon dioxide, also animals.
All right.
And plants breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen.
All right, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you very much, Zoe.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right, so guys, remember, ne, as our fellow learners, they are answering questions. You guys can also write in the group chat to answer your questions. Okay. To answer the questions that I'm asking them, and also just take note of their answers, right? Please do take note of their answers. So guys, humans and animals use the gas oxygen from the air that they breathe in, and they release or give off the gas called carbon dioxide when they breathe out. Okay, and our next point is that plants take in the gas carbon dioxide into their leaves and they use it to make food. Then they release oxygen for the animals as well as the humans to use, just as Zoe mentioned. All right. Okay, so the fifth life process is feeding. And we say that all animals and plants need food. And the first hand that okay, I see Michaela, Menentle. I need new hands, guys. New hands, new hands, new hands, please. Those of you who haven't answered, please raise your hand so that you guys can answer. Okay, Michaela, you have given me an answer before. Menentle also gave me an answer. Jordan also gave me an answer. So guys, let's all participate, yeah? Let's all participate. Okay, Jordan, I will go back to you if there's no one else who raises their hand. Okay, come on, guys. There's like 20, 20, 22, or 21 of us. So guys, let's raise our hands and let us participate. Okay, I need new hands that will give me an example of feeding. Okay, let me see if we have new hands. Okay, so the three that I've mentioned. Okay, guys, come on, please participate. Participate, raise your hand, guys, raise your hands. Bandile, Carol, Tyron, come on, guys. Diane, Dante, Gabriel, Yara, Kanyisile, Letlotlo, Lwandle, Parabile, Offense. Don't you guys know any examples of feeding? Raise your hand, guys. Okay, so I see Taryn raised her hand. Okay, so let's see who. Okay, we'll take Taryn this time. Okay. All right, cool. I see a new hand. Bandile. Okay. Okay, so guys, just keep your hands up. Ne? We have lots of questions that we have to answer. Bandile, how are you?
When we eat food.
When we eat food. Bandile,
Yes, ma'am.
how are you?
I'm fine and you, ma'am.
I'm good, thanks. So you're saying that an example of feeding is when we eat food. Bandile? Okay, seems like Bandile is a bit distracted on the side, but Bandile mentioned something about us eating food, and I wanted to ask a further like a question and asking what type of food do we eat? Okay, cool. Let me just go to Tyron there.
Good
Yes, Tyron.
afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Tyron.
How are you?
I am well, thanks. Yourself?
Good. My example is that herbivores eat plants, carnivores eat meat, and omnivores eat both.
Yes, well done. Thank you very much for that beautiful example. So, guys, as you have heard, Tyron said that carnivores eat meat, and then omnivores eat both meat as well as plants, and herbivores eat plants. Okay, so that is an example of feeding, and I hope you guys have had your breakfast. Okay, so next process is excreting. Okay, so all living animals as well as plants have to get rid of their waste products. Okay, so I will need an example of excretion from, I can't pronounce this name. Hi, how are you? Pomini, I think that is how you pronounce your name, or something like that. Mimi? Okay, so it is quite silent from his or her side. Okay, so we'll just, what is your name, please?
Yoma.
Yoma. Oh, okay. Yoma, please just log in with you. Just write your name when you log in. Eh?
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. So Yoma, give me an example of excretion that takes place in living things.
Ma'am,
Mhm. Or how do you excrete?
we use the toilet.
You use the toilet. So is there any other way where you could be excreting besides the toilet?
Maybe vomiting.
Vomiting, okay. So after running a long race, let's say maybe you ran 5 kilometers, what happens to your body? Or what do you see
You
on your
sweat.
skin? You sweat, okay. So sweat is also a form of excretion, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Yoma, you learned something new there. That sweat is also a form of excretion. Right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. So guys, we also have another example here where we see the horse, right? It says that she is sweating from all the running. Okay, and guys, just another point as well in terms of excretion, that there are special organs in the body which help us to get rid of waste. Okay, so those organs include the lungs, the kidneys, as well as our skin. So the kidneys take waste out of the blood and produce urine, just as Yoma mentioned that sometimes we go to the toilet. Okay, so to excrete urine or to urinate, right? And then also when we sweat, we are actually excreting waste from our skin. Okay, so I see some answers in the group. Why do they eat plants? Plants are innocent. Plants are also food, Dante. Okay, so in as much as they are innocent, it is a life cycle. where we feed on them and they feed on other things. All right. Then Daraj mentioned his answer there. I see it. I see it. Then Dante also asked, ma'am, do horses get tired? Yes, they do get tired, right? They do get tired. Okay, and then guys, plants, they get rid of wastewater through the process of transpiration. Okay, so plants get rid of wastewater through the process of transpiration. And then let us look at the last life process, and that is growth. And we say that all living things grow. And let me see the hands that I have so that they can explain to us the process of growth or an example of growth. All right, Michaela.
Hi, ma'am.
How are you?
I'm fine, and you, ma'am?
I'm well, thanks.
Growth is when human and plants and animals can grow from their young form to an adult.
All right, beautiful. So how do plants grow? When plants are young, what do we call them?
Ma'am, when plants are growing and they're still small, you call them seedlings.
All right, beautiful. So plants usually grow from being seedlings into their adult forms. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, so I see a question in the group saying, ma'am, what is a lily? So a lily is a flower and we can refer to it as a plant. Okay. Lily is a flower and that is a plant. All right. So here we have a plant growing from a seedling as indicated here in the first diagram, and it grows and grows until it sprouts out and becomes its full adult form. Okay, so let us move right along. Non-living things. So guys, so far we said that the living things, right, they go through the 7 life processes. And remember our 7 life processes is movement, reproduction, sensing, excretion, feeding, as well as growing. Okay, so you guys need to know all those 7 living life processes. Okay, so non-living things are different from living things because they do not perform all of the 7 life processes. Okay, and I would like to, okay, so Jordan's hand is up and he can give us examples of non-living things. Jordan?
Yes, ma'am.
Give us examples of non-living things, at least 3.
Um, like uh, like if you don't water your plants, they will die.
Okay, okay, so I'll need you to do something for me, ne, Jordan?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you in your room?
No, ma'am.
You're not in your room. Okay. Okay, so in whatever room you're in right now, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you sitting on a chair? Are you sitting on a chair or a couch?
I'm sitting on a chair.
On a chair. Okay, so is that chair living or non-living?
It is non-living.
Non-living. Okay, beautiful. So is that computer or device that you're using living or non-living?
Loving.
Living.
Because yes, ma'am.
Why?
Because it's when you switch on the computer, it goes on.
Okay, so I have a question. Can your computer move by itself?
No, ma'am.
Can it reproduce?
Ma'am, I don't know what is produce.
Okay, so to reproduce is when we say it makes babies or offspring. Okay, so that's what we mean by reproducing or reproduction, to make babies or to make offspring? Can your computer
Doesn't
complete
make
that?
babies.
It doesn't. Okay, so we can say that your computer is non-living. Okay, because it doesn't follow the 7 life processes. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Cool. Thank you very much, Jordan.
You're welcome.
Okay. I see Zoe's hand is up. Zoe, give me 3 examples of non-living things.
Ma'am, 3 things that are non-living are a table,
Yes.
yeast,
Okay.
and a chair.
A chair is also non-living. All right. Thank you very much for that, Zoe.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I have one more thing to say.
All right.
Yeast is non-living because it doesn't do all of the 7 life processes. It only does some.
It only does some. Okay, so you think that yeast, you would refer to it as non-living because it does not fulfill all the 7 life processes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
which process does yeast not do?
Well, it doesn't reproduce. It doesn't
Okay.
excrete.
It does excrete. Remember, yeast takes in certain gases, right? It releases carbon dioxide. So we
Yes,
think that
ma'am.
it excretes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all.
That's all. Okay. So just to correct you then, yeast is alive. All right.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that is one of our exceptions. We say yeast is alive. Okay.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Welcome.
Oh, sorry for that. Thank you, Zoe. Okay, so guys, example, we have a car and we also have a computer. All right. And so let us move along. So guys, here is our summary. We can group things on Earth as living and non-living, and there are 7 life processes that all living things carry out. And we can, guys, just remember those 7 things by using this acronym, which says Mrs. B. Fake. Okay, so remember the M is for movement, the R is for reproduction, the S is for sensing, excuse me, and then we have the F, sorry, which is for feeding, the E is for excretion, and the G is for growth, and guys, the B is for breathing. Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next topic. So guys, now we're going to look at the structure of plants as well as animals, okay? So just follow in on your books as well as notes that just move on to the topic, which is called structure of plants as well as animals. Okay, so Michaela says, or asks rather, ma'am, can we grow a seed? Yes, you can grow a seed or watch the process where a seed sprouts. I believe you guys did do an experiment of a bean seed, right? Where you put a bean seed on wet tissue paper or toilet paper and you watched it as it sprouted. Okay. Toby, I will need you to basically just explain to me what you don't understand or what's confusing you. Yeah? Thank you. Right, so guys, structure of plants. So all plants have a basic structure, right? And the structure is the part that it is made up of. The structure has a number of things, and I will ask, let's see, Joma to basically just give us parts that, or rather, the structure of plants, right? The structure that, my goodness, I'm sorry for that. Yoma, I need you to give me parts that the structure of a plant has.
Ma'am, the structure of a plant has a stem, leaves,
yes,
and it has seeds.
It has seeds as well. All right. Thank you very much for that, Yoma.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so Yoma mentioned seeds, stem, as well as leaves. So we also have roots. We also have stems, just as mentioned. And we have flowers, okay? And some plants also have fruits, others have seeds, nodes, or buds. Okay, so we see an example here of a leaf, which is also shown. We can also see the veins of the leaf, which are quite in red. And I believe we have other pictures. Here we have the flower, the sunflower there, and the carrots, which are root plants, okay? And then we have the peas in a pod, which are seeds. Okay, so Toby is asking, is a bag living? Okay, so no, a bag is not living. A bag is non-living, right? Your school bag or your whatever type of bag that you're referring to cannot breathe, cannot move, and it definitely cannot sense. Okay. So I hope you are answered, Toby. So remember the characteristics of the 7 living things, the Mrs. Bfeg. If your item or your product does not meet all 7 requirements, then we consider it non-living, except for yeast. Okay. So guys, while we're still here on the roots, stems, leaves, as well as flowers, I'm gonna ask, I see Michaela's hand is up. Let's hear from Michaela. The functions of a root.
Ma'am, the
Functions
function
of a root, Michaela.
Ma'am, a function of the root is that it is underground so that it can keep the water and so that the plant can be straight and so that it can't fall and someone steps on it.
All right, thank you very much, Michaela. So guys, functions of a root, it is to anchor the plant on the ground, right? So to keep it stable, as well as to absorb water and nutrients from the soil. All right, so let's hear from Jordan. Jordan?
Ma'am, is a
Give me a
car
function
loving.
of the stem. Sorry? Come again?
Ma'am is a car loving.
No, a car is non-living. All right? It cannot reproduce. Right, so Jordan, give me an example, or rather not an example, but function of a stem.
Of a stem.
Yes.
The stem comes from the roots.
Okay, and what does it do? What does it help the plant with?
It helps the plant to stand straight.
All right, so it supports the leaves, flowers, as well as the fruit. Okay, thank you very much, Jordan.
You're welcome.
All right. So Jordan says that it helps the plant to stand straight, and as I said, that it also supports the leaves, flowers, as well as fruit, and it carries nutrients and water from the roots to other parts of the plant. Okay, Michaela, so give me the function of leaves. One function that the leaves have.
Ma'am, the function of the leaves is it takes in the water so that it can grow, and also it has veins so that the water can pass through and the leaf can also grow.
All right. So Michaela mentioned how the leaves basically also absorb water. Okay, so guys, just remember that the leaves absorb sunlight. Okay, the leaves absorb sunlight. Remember, we said that plants can also make their own food and they require sunlight to make their food. So the leaves absorb sunlight to make their food, and they also store water. Okay, just as mentioned by Michaela, they store water like the cactus. All right. we have another hand which is up. Okay, so I see Nokwanda saying that, ma'am, I planted a bean seed and now I can eat the beans. Oh, wow, that is very much beautiful, Nokwanda. You should try also planting other fruits and vegetables as well. All right, then maybe one day you can have your own farm. Okay. So we're just going to move on, guys, as we know that flowers, we use flowers usually for decorative purposes, and sometimes flowers, they produce the seeds, and those seeds are dispersed, right? And then some plants produce fruit, and those fruit, us as humans and animals as well, they get to eat the fruits, okay? And other plants produce seeds. So I see Kiara Fox hand is up, so I would like to hear the function of a seed. What is the function of a seed, Kiara?
Ma'am, you first plant the seed and then it grows into a root in soil, and then it grows into the stem of the vegetable,
Yes.
and then it discovers germination.
All right. Okay.
And then
Sorry.
it grows, the stem grows bigger, and then and then the flower starts growing.
All right.
And then after a few months, the vegetable grows and then you can eat it.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much, Kiara. All right, so as you guys heard what Kiara said about the seeds. So seeds help into making new plants. Okay, so they're very important into making new plants, and we can sometimes use the nodes or the buds of a particular plant in order to make a new one. All right, so guys, here we have a picture basically indicating to us the locations of the bud, the node, the flower, the fruit, and the leaves, as well as the stem and the roots. So you guys should also be able to label a picture of a plant. All right. Okay, so guys, animals, they also have a basic structure. All right, and most animals, basic structure has a head, they have a tail, they have a body, and they have limbs. Okay, so more like arms and legs, and they also have sense organs. All right, so guys, I'm not going to take any more questions for now, but we will take up questions just in the end, and I will answer everyone. So I'll just need you guys to write your questions in the group chat, but I'm not going to take hands. Okay, so just write your question in the group chat. Okay. Okay, so as mentioned, that animals have a head, tail, body, limbs, as well as sense organs. All right, so here we have an example. And guys, very much important to know that these animals, they are not the same. Okay, so animals are not the same, but they have a similar structure, right? So we see an elephant, we see an earthworm. An example is the elephant has a trunk, the earthworm does not have a trunk. And we see a dog, a dragonfly, as well as a snail, but they all have a head and they all have their own personal limbs. Okay, and then our key concepts is that all plants have a basic structure of roots, stems, and leaves. Flowering plants also have flowers, fruit, and seeds. We can see how plants are different. We compare the size, shape, as well as the color of roots, stems, leaves, flowers, fruits, and seeds. Okay, and then all animals have a basic structure, which is your head, tail, body, limbs, as well as sense organs. Okay, and then animals have different body coverings, shapes, and sizes, as well as sense organs, and we can compare the different things that we see in animals. All right, and okay, so I see we have a question here asking what are buds and nodes. Okay, so guys, buds and nodes are usually found on the stem, and we can use that we can cut off those buds or those nodes which are found on the stem to make a new plant. So instead of using a seed, we can use the buds as well as the nodes. So Dante says, ma'am, can we plant onions? Yes, Dante, you can plant an onion. If an onion that you have at home has rotted, you can actually just put that rotted onion in the soil and it will grow into new fresh onions. All right. Okay, so guys, tomorrow we will be looking at what plants need to grow as well as habitats of animals and plants. You will be required to write summaries or notes on the topics, and you are going to share with us in class tomorrow. So guys, prepare any questions that you have for class tomorrow with regards to the topics, what plants need to grow, and habitats of animals and plants. All right, so you guys will be teaching each other tomorrow. So guys, these are the textbooks that we used for this lesson. Remember, you can get hold of the textbooks on Snaplify, the Via Africa textbook. You can get it on Snaplify. And the Siavula textbook, you can get it on the Thunderbolts Kids website. Right, so guys, thank you very much for joining in class. Thank you for participating. And I hope tomorrow, guys, more of us are going to participate, okay? So if you do have any questions, just forward them to STEM Digital School at africateengeeks.co.za, or you can email me at onkarabetse.sizwe@gmail.com. So guys, have a wonderful day further and enjoy your next class. Goodbye. Bye, Zoe. Bye, Jordan. Bye, Kiara.